Welcome to Kung Fu Habit number 2. Instagram is still with me. That's good for you. So, let's start off with the umbrella. Because it's damaged, because it's fucked up, I'm going to go ahead and do this part first. So, first, for those who don't know me, and for those who on Instagram do know me, I am James Williams Jr. I am the Lord of Kung Fu. Just because you don't know who I am, you will. So, I'm part Cherokee, I'm part black, I'm part white. That is not relevant for this video, but what is relevant, that I am a martial artist. I've been doing martial arts since I was 7 years old. I've been street fighting since I was 6 years old. So, if you are a martial artist, if you are a street fighter, then you know this to be true. Anything that a martial artist puts in his or her hand becomes part of your skill set, becomes part of your arsenal. And if it doesn't, go get your money back. So, a lot of you see martial artists like Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung throwing chairs and doing umbrella fancy stuff like you've seen me doing the last 2 videos. Well, hey, truth be told, in a street fight, anything goes. If you've really been in a street fight or a bar fight, it's not like the movies. I haven't been in any bar fights. I have been in a couple of street fights. But it's not like the movie. People show up with shit. Some show up with umbrellas. Some show up with canes. Some show up and have these things taken from them and used on them. Which is why I generally tell you in any kind of fighting situation, don't bring a weapon to a fight, because a weapon that you can bring to a fight can be used on you. So, point A, you see me do that. You see me do that. You're not going to do that in a street fight. Or any fight. Martial art movies, that's fine. Real life, not so much. This thing has a point, and it has a hook. A lot of umbrellas these days don't have the hook. That being the case, they still, well, this one doesn't, but they still shoot out and expand. So, rule number 1, don't whirl your weapon. Actually, that's rule number 2. Rule number 1 is don't bring a fucking weapon. But if you have a weapon that is convenient, like an umbrella or a cane, then so be it. But any weapon that you touch becomes a part of your arsenal. If you have not been taught how to properly use anything and everything, go get your money back. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you come against somebody like me who uses an umbrella or a cane, you might be in trouble. So from here, the cane gives me a little bit of reach. From here, it gives me reach and a hook. So if I'm going to pull somebody, if you throw a punch, I can lock it around your hand and pull you this way. It's not going to work like the movies. You're probably not going to be fast enough to do that. But in the event that you do, you want to be on this side where the umbrella is. You want to keep them going in the direction of the umbrella. But you also want to be on this side so that you can control the fight. Versus you block and counter with karate versus catch with kung fu and pull. Because you can pull them and break stuff and then jab the umbrella back into them. Understand how that works? So basically, you're pulling, release, see how you turn it? There. Now if they got a small neck, now I got them by the neck. And I can pull them. As I pull them, I'm going for a knee. If I don't go for a knee, pull short elbow. Or pull, and power knee. So now I've changed it from Kung Fu to Karate because I've used the knee furthest away, which gives you more power. But if I want to be direct, when I hook their neck, wham! Short knee, short elbow. So this is part of Wing Chun for those who have not studied Wing Chun. This is your brand new bridge book of Wing Chun. It's a lot easier to keep it simple. Snap the neck, pull the neck, elbow to the face. Snap the neck, pull them to the knee. The knee that is closest to you makes it Kung Fu. The knee that is farthest from them is Karate. Alright? Because Karate is more about power, where Kung Fu is more about directness. So, boom, pull. Now, again, this, not going to happen. This, pull, that's more likely to happen. But if they're throwing a punch and you miss, you need to be able to recover. So, instead of trying to hook them, just try to bat it away or try to punch down on their hand. So if they're punching, boom, they're throwing a full fire punch, you hit their metacarpals, because their hand is not one bone, it's 100 little bones in there, so you smash that shit. They have a broken hand. From there, bam, smack. Use the other end. If you want to be really dangerous and if you have a steel one, then you go for an eye. Boom. If you don't want to go for an eye, which is here, then you go for the sternum. Because the force behind the umbrella and that steel tip is probably going to puncture their skin. which means they're going to need medical attention or they're going to bleed out. And if they're attacking you, then they should have thought that shit through before you decided to become Bruce Lee. Boom! That went to the gut. So you don't puncture them. If you don't have the hook, don't worry, you're still able to throw the handle into the gut. Now, so when you see people do this, if you see me go here as a thrust and then here as a shield, that is, let me show you from this side. Thrust, shield. The spin is the distraction. So if you have the metal point, thrust, shield, 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 shield from behind. You know, so it basically is what that does. Now we're going to move to the cane. Pretty much the same exact movements. Literally the same exact movements. Because one thing for sure, when you are trained in a martial art, you will get this thing called muscle memory. If you don't want to call it muscle memory and you're Gen X, you call it second nature. Alright? I'm a Gen X, so we call it second nature. The military calls it muscle memory. I call it whatever it takes to survive. And to quote Rama from the school of anything goes martial arts, in a street fight, anything goes. So you have a cane. It has a rubber butt. Comes off. Now it has a metal butt. For safety purposes, we're going to put that back on. But same attack. Right in the sternum. Because if a person can't breathe, they can't hurt you. So hitting the gut and then flick it to the chin. Same thing on the other side with the pipe. Boom. Right here. This part in the gut. And some canes have hooks. So same thing that you did with the umbrella, you can do with the cane. So hook, pull, elbow, hook, pull, knee, hit, sternum, pancake their shit, boom, and boom. Yeah, it's really simple to just keep it simple. So when you thrust in the gut and they automatically bend down, just pop them up in the face. I'm sorry if that sounds a little bit violent for you, but this is a martial art channel. I.e. the word havoc is in the title. Because if you're going to get into a fight, you may need to bring the fucking havoc because that person on the other side of this battle, he's not giving a damn about you, especially if he's the aggressor. If he's attacking you or if she's attacking you, you think they really give a fuck? No, that's why they're fucking attacking you. So therefore, boom, boom. But 9 times out of 10, after this and this, fight might be over. No, let's keep the shit real. No one is truly impervious to pain unless they're having an adrenaline rush or if you've done the Shaolin Iron Body technique. So Iron Body, for those who are not Chinese, or not Asian, or have never taken a martial art class in your life, Iron Body is practiced in 2 martial arts that I know of. It's probably practiced in more, but 2 that I took practiced Iron Body. So the first one is Chinese Kung Fu. In Kung Fu, the Iron Body technique was used by many a Shaolin and many of warriors that were terracotta soldiers so that if they had their armor broken or pierced, they could continue fighting. But what it is a mindset of feeling impervious to pain. I can only do it for 5 minutes. So I know after 5 minutes, I'm going to start feeling pain, which means I need to end that fight in 2. And good thing for me is that most fights in real life end between 2 and 5 minutes unless it's a sport. Because if it's a sport, you kind of want the fight to last because that brings in the money. If you can't go more than 3 rounds with whatever guys across the field, you're still going to get paid. The other guy's just going to get paid more. So you have to understand how that works. Now, the other thing is Thai fighting, actual kickboxing. No. Muay Thai. You're going to get hit with rods day after day after day until your body is basically iron and steel, which becomes impervious to pain. Now, the sad news on Thai fighting is that they don't do it to your elbows or your knees because those are joints. And joints are easy to break, which goes back to Kung Fu when I tell you get to the outside, push the elbow, pull the wrist, break it, and hit him with a fist. So, it's more or less, they're throwing a punch, you stepped out, this has the wrist, this has the elbow, snap, down the head. So, it'll slide down, throat or face, or slide under, ribs, liver, whatever side you choose to be on at the time that they throw the punch. Now, this cane, let me unscrew this thing again, has this little release. So, now you have 2 weapons. Alright? So, if you watch my Chobo training, or my Tafa, so now you can do both. This does not spin. But, there you go. And I dropped it. But if you have watched the Tonfa training, so you have that, and you have the Chobo, or the Kamas. So if you're taking Kempo, then you already know how to use Chobos, depending on which Kempo you took. Alright? So, with the cane, you have 2 weapons instead of just one like the umbrella. Technically, the umbrella is also 2 weapons because you can use it as a sword and a shield. But this, you have a better chance. Blocking, strike, block, boom, boom, double throw, boom. And then if you have more than one guy, you're able to defend without totally getting your shit jacked up. Now, a lot of people aren't going to be able to keep that calm in an actual fighting situation. And why is this not tightening up? Okay. Obviously, I'm doing something incredibly wrong there. But, now that you know you can do that, I think I got it back in the right height. Now that you know, hold on. This thing has numbers. It had numbers. Okay, I guess it had numbers because they don't have it anymore. Anyway, I'm only 5'3", so this shouldn't be higher than 5'3", like on the dots. The same way you set your crutches. Anyway, so now that you know this, there's a strike. There's a defense. There's a defense. There's a defense. Switch hands. There's a defense because you're swinging wildly. Now you have an axe strike. If you ever swung an axe, it's like that. If you ever swung a sword that way or a baseball bat, you have it. What you're not going to do is this. Though you saw me do that in the video, there is a good chance that in the process of doing that, this thing can be snatched out of your hand. Now you've lost your element of weaponry. So you don't want to do that. In any fight, don't do the whirling shit that you see in the movies. It's not going to be that damn simple, and no one's probably going to give you the chance. So, if they're coming at you, boom! That's the only whirling you need to do. Boom! Or a boom! Or a thrust. Now in the military, we had this thing called the muzzle thump. So that's where you thump the barrel of your gun into someone. But if you have a gun, you probably won't let them get that close anyway, especially if you have an AR. These are just like, eat them up. You know. But in the event that you're going in covertly, then you want to use the muzzle thump. Because a good thump to the sternum is pretty much going to put somebody down. Boom! You know, and then from here, you can back-a-rack their shit, or as you young people say, you can mollywop the shit out of a person. It just depends on how you want to do that. Cane is the same concept. You're basically doing a muzzle thump, boom, and you're thumping them in the sternum. So here is where you're getting hit. Or if you're an evil sumbitch, you're going to hit them up here in the throat. You want to hit them somewhere that's going to cut off the wing. If they can't breathe, they can't hurt you. And it doesn't matter if they're 6'2" or 4'11". Height has no factor in a fight other than who has the better skill level. I'm 5'3½". Nobody fucks with me. Okay? Because I'm not afraid of going to jail. I'm afraid of killing someone to defend myself by accident. It's not hard to accidentally kill anyone. Just remember that in the stuff that you are being taught. Especially if you're sitting in a martial art class on a daily basis, you have to remember to tell your students that this shit can kill someone. Now that goes back to my 30-70. 70% of the shit that you are learning only works in the dojo. 30% of the shit you're learning only works outside. Now when you can figure out how to make 100% of all that shit works, give me a call. Because I know from experience that 70% only really works in the dojo. And that's mostly because you're hammered down with rules, alright? Can't kick a person in the cuts. Can't kick someone in the face unless it's an accident. You have to have smooth and control. So for all you Taekwondo people out here, you know like I know, Taekwondo is totally about fucking control. I don't have that shit. I studied Taekwondo so anybody who came at me with Taekwondo, I could beat their ass. It's really that simple. Every martial art that I've studied was for me to be able to beat whoever ass brought that shit to the table. If you brought capoeira to the table, I'm going to beat your ass with capoeira. If you brought wushu or wing chun to the table, I'm going to beat your ass with your own shit. Because I've studied that. Now here's the thing about martial arts that I need to end this video with. If you are a martial artist and your teacher does not talk about adapting in a fight, quit that school immediately. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest with you. They need to teach you how to adapt in a fight. If they don't teach you how to adapt in a fight, that goes back to 70-30. Because a lot of senseis, your first 6 weeks in class, you're just sitting here doing this. You know, but if you're not teaching me how to adapt, what if I'm coming against somebody, I know karate and they know kung fu? What if I'm coming against somebody who knows more karate or kung fu than me? I'm in a world of hurt, because if I'm a day one student and you're 6 years in, I got a problem. Nope, now I got a solution. You know, there's no problem that you can't fix if you're willing to look for the solution. But if you're not willing to put the time in, it's a good chance that you're going to get fucked up. Alright? I'm sorry. I gotta go ahead and put it out there, because if it's one thing on YouTube I say it a lot, I give you 99.9. I don't tell lies. I don't have time for it. But I want to point this out immediately, because if you don't know how to turn a weapon of convenience into a weapon that can save your life, you're in a little bit of trouble. When you see me do the pole techniques, now there's nothing in here I can actually use. Actually, there is. I stand corrected. It's the same thing as using this chair. You got to get around this chair to get to me. I don't have to get around that chair to defend. You step this side, I block and I step. You step this side, I block and I step. And if you throw a kick, I can catch it and break it on the pole, both sides. Or I can sidestep, kick, and now I'm on this side of the pole. I can dance around this pole all day. Same thing with this chair. Now I have a weapon, you just don't know it's a weapon. Block, block, block. WWE, block, block. You know, anything that you touch as a martial artist, hands down, has to become something that you can fight with. Because a weapon that you can't use is not a weapon at all. It is a fucking obstacle that is going to get you fucked up. I'm sorry for swearing. This video is no longer for children. Now, in the event that you don't have a weapon and someone does have a weapon, you need to learn how to receive a blow. Oh God, that did not come out right. Please don't tell Donna that this happened. But you need to learn how to receive a hit. That's still not coming out right, because now they'll think I'm doing drugs. But, so, for the most part, if someone's swinging their cane at you, your fatty tissue under your arm is your safest bet. Anything right here is bad, because that can get your ribs broken, hit you in the kidney, and then they can also hook you. But if it gets up here and you hook them, now you have a chance. Unless they hit this release button, and now you both have weapons. Alright? I screwed this in, so that's not going to happen. But it can happen because adrenaline is a powerful thing. And enough adrenaline can break anything, including your bones. So the basic way is to hit it is to take it here. When I was getting taught how to do bow staffing, I was taught to catch it under the arm and lock. And now I have that. Plus this damn thing just hooked me in the back. So I have to do something to get this thing out from me. So here. So when I snatch it, I'm going to push it all the way through. I'm going to adapt, and I'm going to push back into that person. So did you miss that? Let me show it again. I'm hit, I lock, I push through, I unlock, and I come back. It's still hung in my arm, so that's why that looks fucked up. But now I have his weapon. Now I'm pushing into his sternum, and now I have an extension. And now I'm ready. Comes at me, boom! Comes at me, boom! So those primary targets, sternum, shin, kneecaps, you have to know where to hit a person. The most important thing that anybody who's teaching you a martial art should not be teaching you how hard to hit. They should be teaching you where to hit, i.e., take some Kempo. Now, people are sleeping on Kempo because a lot of you people don't know the fucking shit about pressure points, and you're thinking pressure points are a fucking joke. Now, here's the thing. You have 365 pressure points in the human body. 250 of them can fuck you up. I know the 250 that can fuck you up. Now, no, I can't make you shit on yourself. I'm not that good. But if there is a martial artist out here who can make somebody shit on themselves, I want to see that. I literally, if you are a Kempo master, I want to see you make someone shit on themselves. I'm not volunteering. But I want to see you do that. But as far as you fucking them up, I know what Kempo can do. I didn't take the shit for nothing. I took it so that if anybody came at me with Kempo, and if my brain's still functioning, I can recognize the style before I get my ass kicked, then I can use their style against them. Because here's the thing. I'm going to say this and I'm going to end this video. A lot of people are going to get mad. I don't give a damn. You can get mad. Because you can prove me wrong if you want, but I'm promising you I'm a lot closer to right than you are. There is no such thing as a superior martial art. There is such thing as superior martial artist. Remember that. No such thing as a superior martial art. There's only superior martial artists. Now, I'm going to piss off people with that, especially martial artists, but weigh the pros and cons on that. Why the fuck would there be so many styles if there was one martial art that was superior to all? If there was a martial art that was one above them all, got that from Marvel, the one above all, if he's a character. If there was one martial art that was superior to all martial arts, everyone would be doing that. There wouldn't be any MMA guys, there wouldn't be any BJJ guys, there wouldn't be any capoeira, there wouldn't be anything. I missed a wave, I'm sorry about that. There wouldn't be anything. I'm way behind in these comments, y'all, I'm sorry. There wouldn't be anything for anyone to learn, because everybody would be learning that one martial art. So therefore, check me on this, I am correct. You have thousands of students and thousands of martial arts. Why aren't there just one martial art that is superior to all martial arts? Because that doesn't exist. There are superior martial artists. There are martial artists that can beat you easily because they've been homing their skills. So, whoever does not like that saying, kiss my ass. I'm telling you the fucking truth. There is no such thing as a superior martial art. There are only superior martial artists. That being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope that DMX pulls through. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you. Also, shout out to